Hello, hello! Today is going to be a quicker video just to talk about this thing called journaling and how it absolutely will change your life. And y'all, there's like statistics behind journaling and how it can help you as well too. I didn't look it up, but I do remember learning it in my psychology and counseling courses, and even things like gratitude. If you write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day, that makes a big difference. But I'm not talking about that today. I'm not talking about just 3 things that you can write down that you're grateful for. Yes, absolutely do that. If you can write down every day 3 things you're grateful for, you'll see how that can impact your life and really change your mindset, especially when you are having harder days, harder seasons, harder moments. We've all been there. But today, I'm not even talking about just like the happy, grateful things. Like, no, I'm talking about unfiltered journaling, like the stuff you wouldn't want anybody to read. Y'all, I have been journaling really forever. I mean, starting young, I don't know, we could say somewhere around junior high, but before junior high, because I got saved at the age of 9, and I remember after I went and I wrote in my journal, and I wish I would have kept all those journals, because I honestly don't know what happened to them. They got lost in the mix, and I don't have those anymore. But I've always enjoyed journaling. So journaling in itself, let's just say normal journaling, writing out your thoughts, writing out your prayers, that can be a form of journaling. All of that can be really good for you. But this type of journaling I didn't start doing until this year, and this is what I mean, like it'll change your life. It is amazing, so helpful. I don't know why I didn't do it before, and that is unfiltered journaling. Another way that I've kind of seen it in the future, semi-different, it's like called a brain dump, and you literally just write without stopping and thinking. Y'all don't think about grammar errors. Like if you want to like shorten a word to shorten a word, you can do it. You have like absolutely no rules. You're just letting everything out on paper. And so with the unfiltered part, I love journaling, always have, but I used to get really nervous, like what if someone read my journals? Because I personally have journaled when I am really emotional. So when I'm feeling on a really high, or if I'm feeling a really low, having really crappy days, that's when it helped me to journal. But I would get nervous, like what if someone read this? They would think I'm so negative, so horrible. They would read what it says about them and be so offended, all of this. But that stops you from being able to fully process what is going on. And so here is what I did differently. I, 1, quit filtering it. I quit writing like someone was going to read it. So before I'd be like, oh, I'm really struggling with this friend because she acted this way towards me, but I know God is going to use this, and He's using it in my life to really sanctify me and make me better. So that way if anyone read it, they'd be like, oh, what? Oh, okay, but God's teaching her and all that. Quit doing that, and I would just write. Okay, I'm making up the situation, but this friend was absolutely horrible to me. I cannot believe that after all of our years of friendship, they would go and talk about me in this way. It is absolutely devastating. My heart is shattered. It is broken. I feel like she doesn't care about me. In fact, I feel like no one cares about me right now. I don't feel like my husband cares. I don't feel like my church members care. I don't feel like my family cares. Literally everybody is the worst right now. Like life is stupid and life is hard, and I don't, okay, do you get where I'm going? Like that is unfiltered, but it could be even more unfiltered on paper. You don't stop those thoughts that you're feeling. Like you need to get it out. Get it all out exactly how you're feeling. And why? But there's a reason for this. I'm not just saying this to get it out, but why? It's because it helps you process what is going on. So you might be writing all of these things and not even recognizing how much this one friend's action now has changed your thoughts with your husband, with your friends, with your church. This one thing triggered this whole other thing. And because you're allowing yourself to freely feel, to freely write, it helps you really, not all times, but a lot of times, recognize more deeply what is going on and what is happening in that situation that is really setting you off. Now, I'm still going to talk about this a little more, but there's a really, really big key to all of this at the end of the video, so don't leave yet. Oh, and a little side note is that it doesn't have to be like writing with a pen and paper. I really do enjoy that, but it can be typing as well. I'm a really fast typer, and so sometimes when I have so much going on in my head, it helps to type things out. And so I'll go to my computer, you know, just type away, type away, type away, type away until I feel like everything is off my chest. Another tip for this is do it away from people. Like, if you feel like there's a possibility that someone could come in and look over your shoulder and see what you're writing, well, then it's going to be filtered. You're still going to hold back a little bit out of fear that someone is going to see that. And so do this at a quiet time or in a personal workspace by yourself when no one else is around, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you feel completely comfortable to write and let everything out. And with this writing, I talked about it earlier, being a brain dump. Don't stop yourself from going any other place in your writing. So you might be writing about that friend that did this action towards you, and then it spurs off to like, oh, well, then my work client, they treated me in this way. So then you go off in the work client and are talking about that. And then that somehow turns into another experience. Like, just go. Y'all just keep writing and writing and writing. And then if you need to circle back to where you were, go ahead and circle back. And the reason I want you to just keep writing, talking about it, letting everything out is because when I started doing this, and like this connects back to, it helps you process, but I would literally find like solutions to problems that I was having. And so this isn't even necessarily just if something bad is happening. Some of this can be like career choices. It's like, oh, Lord, I don't know if I'm supposed to do A or B or C. There could be a D. Like, I don't know what to do. I literally don't know what to do. And so get a piece of paper and a pen, your computer, and go to town. And when you start writing about all these things or what you're passionate about or not passionate about or what pros of this job, cons, pros, cons, you can still think logically while you write. Just keep doing it. You would be surprised how many times by the end of that journaling session you see clarity, you feel better. Like, it's literally like you're going to a counseling session. And I need to calm down my voice. I'm one, talking faster because I know my daughter's about to wake up from her nap, but two, because I am very passionate about this, because I want everyone to go to counseling, but counseling can be expensive, it can be inconvenient, it's time consuming, all of that. And so this is kind of like a cheap way to do your own counseling session if you're not able to go get counseling, or if you don't need that, or if it's just small things. Like, just give this a try. Okay, now that I've talked about what it means to be unfiltered in your writing, some tips that can help you get through it, this is the key thing that what you're going to do right after you're done writing. You're going to burn it, or you're going to shred it, or you're going to come up with some creative way to completely destroy the paper. And so I can't burn a paper every time. We don't have a fire pit. And so what I do is I have a shredder. And if I type it, I will print it. And if I write it, I just rip it out of the journal. And then here, this is key too. This is so key, key, please. Don't just write it all out and like destroy it. But before you destroy it, pray and give it to the Lord. That is like my way of like, I'm going to write out how everything feels, no filters, nothing. I'm going to rip it up, or no, I'm going to rip it out of the page, notebook. Then I'm going to pray. God, you know my every word, my thoughts, my feelings. God, you've seen my sin in this. You've seen my struggles in this. You know my confusion in this. But Lord, now that I've gotten it out, I give it to you. God, I choose not to go back over this over and over and over again with fear, with worry, with anxiety. But God, I give it to you. And then you put it in the shredder, or you throw it in the fire, or rip it up with your hands if you don't have that. Put it in the sink and put water on it so no one can read it, then throw it in the trash. whatever it may be, you get rid of it. And it's life-changing. It is just an amazing way to process through your feelings, your emotions, and what you are struggling with. Now, I will say it can be time-consuming, and that's why I am not great at consistently doing this, and others may struggle. It's like, oh, but it takes me so much time. I'm a slow writer or typer. Okay, well, if you can do it once a week, 30 minutes, like just try it out, because it is going to help you significantly kind of work through some of your problems. And even if you don't find a solution or work through it, you can at least recognize what you're feeling. You can recognize, hey, yeah, I haven't been feeling this way in the past 2 or 3 writings that I've done, but this week something is different, something is off, I am way more emotional, irritable, whatever it may be. And you can learn something about yourself, and then you can give it to the Lord, take a breath, move on, and go about your day and not feel bad about it, because you've prayed about it, journaled over it, and you're moving forward. So please let me know if you try this out, if you have any questions. Make sure to subscribe if you want more encouraging, Christian, uplifting content. I love doing this, and I would love to get to know you. See you next time.